there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Here to do this, just a quick tutorial video. I've had a lot of people asking me about MTGO and how to acquire cards, what's the best way to do it. And I hope that this video will just be a brief introduction. It's not going to be anything like too snazzy. I'm just going to record live about how I acquire cards because I am needing some cards here. And this happens to be a card that has a huge difference in price. So you can take the first outlet and pay more, or you can do some research and actually figure out the lowest place to get the card. The card that I need right now is Surgical Extraction, and I absolutely hate that I have to get this because it's going to be reprinted in just a couple weeks in Modern Masters 2. But I do want to try it out for this Waste Not deck, and I'm doing a video series of it today, and I think it's going to be a pivotal piece in my deck that I can't really fudge around it. I mean, you could go some other options for making a person exile a card from their library, but Surgical Extraction in this deck, using 4 Burning Inquiries and 2 Thought Scours, is by far the most powerful way to disrupt a combo deck. So, anywho, the first way to get a card, and this is the cheapest way by far, is to go over to the trade and go over to the classifieds and actually post that you want a Surgical Extraction. So you do it down here. You post that human buying, and sorry that's cut off a little bit, just have human over here. Human buying Surgical Extraction, and then you can name your own price. So right up here we have, like, the bots are buying it for 2.5. We have the bot selling it for 5. So you can, if you want it really quickly, the problem with this is it takes a long time. Someone has to be wanting to sell a Surgical Extraction, and they have to actually search it, and they're probably looking the best way to get the best bang for their buck. So in standard cards, especially with a new release, the classifieds are very easy to use and very easy to find a trade. But with a card like Surgical Extraction, I highly, highly doubt. I mean, there is some activity. You see this refreshing. That's a good sign with cards that move a lot. But I wouldn't put Surgical Extraction as like one of those heavily, heavily traded cards on MTGO. It's one of those niche sideboard cards, and a lot of people don't buy and sell those a lot. You don't like wake up one day and be like, I'm going to make a Surgical Extraction deck. Or in Modern, it's not like this, again, a very focused card. So you can say human buying Surgical Extraction for 3, and then it'll submit that, and then you see it pops it up right here, and then someone will then message you and say, hey, I have a Surgical Extraction, I'll buy it, I'll sell it to you for 3. That's usually going to be your cheapest option, is just by doing a quick look, trying to glimpse at the market price, and then throw it down there on your little post a message here. So anyway, let me actually, let's get this in a view here so you can see the entire view of what I was talking about. So here's my post message. Here is where you search the exact phrase or card name, and this is a good way for packs as well. Sometimes you can beat the bot prices out by selling packs. Now, I usually use the classifieds for anything that's over 2 tickets. That's the only thing that's usually worth my time. For going with cards that are under like 2 tickets, or especially under 1 ticket, I usually just go with like a bot so I can save a lot of credits. And I use MTGO Traders bot. They actually run a great website. I'll show you their website in a bit. But they seem to be pretty good pricing on a lot of the commons and uncommons. Where they can get you is I like to say the MTGO Traders is kind of the Star City Games of MTGO. So a lot of times they are the ones that are setting kind of the market price, and then everyone else starts to undercut and beat them. So sometimes the more the premier rares, they are allowed to put them higher because they have such a clientele. They have a lot of people that use their site. So usually you can beat MTGO traders prices with high-end rares and sometimes even more the mid-range rare cards. So I do use MTGO traders quite a bit, though. They are my go-to bot to go use to kind of, well, especially when then people are like, well, what if it's under a ticket? That's where bots really come in handy, because they can quote unquote save your credits. And that's what I wish that MTGO would just go ahead and create an auction house and then be able to trade 1 ticket for 100 auction house points, and then you can use auction house points to buy and sell cards on an auction house, and that would be so phenomenal with MTGO. I used to be and this is a little bit embarrassing to say because I absolutely hate the game. I used to be a World of Warcraft auction house, basically Nazi. I controlled the entire market on my server at one point, and it was I used to joke with my friends because I didn't play World of Warcraft. I played World of Auction House Craft because my guys, all of my dudes basically never moved from the mailbox to the Ironforge Bank in World of Warcraft. I mean, that was years and years ago when I played that game. I think it's been over 5 years since I've played WoW. But anywho, I know that if they create an auction house that I would easily be able to corner it, and man, that would be so phenomenal. I'd never have to pay for MTGO ever again. But for right now, this is the tricks and tactics that I've been able to, as a I think there's not many people that build as many brews as I do for, my commitments with GatheringMagic.com to do playing on a budget every weekend or every week, and then just doing my own crazy brews. And you guys don't even see all the failed brews that I mess around with that don't ever make it to the YouTube channel. So, and then I would say for every deck that does make it to YouTube, I have like 10 brews that were just plain dismal that don't deserve to be on there. So anywho, let's go back. That's the classifieds. That's the best way to find a card. If the cheapest way is by using the classifieds. The next way is you can go over to my favorite website, which is MTG Goldfish, and it's going to give you kind of a competitor's price. So this is a good reference point too, even before you use your classifieds. Most bots are going to be the card hoarder and MTGO traders, which are usually the largest of the bots, are selling it for $5.41. You can actually click on this little tab, and it will take you over to MTGO Traders site, and you can actually put in surgical extraction. And are you kidding me? The promo is going to be actually more tickets. I was hoping the promo would be less because sometimes you can get away with promos being a lot more. So then again, it is $5.41. I know that sometimes you can use, if you're just willing to use cash, you can actually buy right from them, and the bots will see that you bought that from them. And then I've never done this with actual cash on MTGO Traders, and it might actually be a little bit cheaper if you're using money. I'm not sure, but that might be a better way to go about it. Anyone that's had experience with MTGO Traders, let me know exactly how they handle that. But then Card Hoarder is going to do the same thing. Okay, so they give a little bit of discount. If you're going to use just your PayPal or cash, then they are going to sell it for $5.09. So anywho, that might be a little bit better way to go if you do use PayPal. And I need to start, I most likely need to start doing that. So my last way, which is a really good website to find a lot of different prices, is going to be this MTGO wikiprice.com. And this is a lot, you can usually find, this is where, this I would say is like the TCG player of the MTGO world. Because this lists a ton of people that are using, I think they use kind of the same bot system. Or maybe you just need to upload your prices to the WikiPrice website. But here we can type in surgical extraction, and I wish it would show both versions. Okay, so here's we'll load them both here. So the surgical extraction, you can find, this is the promo. So the cheapest you can find, no one has it. Is this coming out? Maybe this doesn't even exist yet. Oh no, because this person does have 6 of them. This is $7.61. What's cool about MTGO WikiPrice, you can actually find what the bots are buying it for. And again, this is where this shines a lot better than MTGO Traders. MTGO Traders seems to be, again, it's very, very representation of how Star City Games does their paper. If you use Star City Games, they're going to give you the lowest price for the buy list price. Star City Games' buy list price are dismal. You can go and find like Channel Fireball or Strike Zone or all these other places that you can always sell your cards to for better. And then Channel Fireball and Strike Zone, etc., are going to sell you the cards cheaper than Star City Games ever will. In fact, Star City Games got so mad that people were starting to see that price discrepancy that they demanded the MTGO price take their prices down and quit crawling their website because of just everyone got to see the gap between the Star City Games business model. So anywho, this is same idea in MTGO. MTGO Trader is usually going to give you less value than one of these other bots. The problem with that is, though, it's not the same. Like, you don't want so many credits just, and I I probably have hundreds of credits of half credits and point credits just floating around on MTGO with all the bots I've used over time. So I'm going to show you what I do with that too. How I every time I use wiki price, I always cash out. So I'm always going to find bulk rares to put me up to that where it's going to equal out a ticket. And, you know, then you never know when I use those rares. I sometimes, if I ever redeem sets, that's a good way that I know I have all the cards, because I don't want to leave a bunch of point credits on a certain bot. So anyway, let's go and actually look at the surgical extraction from New Phyrexia. As you saw right there, 5 is what the MTGO market is. This JB Store, I use this guy a lot. He usually has a lot of cards. Has 3 of them, which is exactly what I want. And and it's at 4.2, so by far he's the cheapest. He actually beats this next guy by a good 4 tickets. So anyway, I think that I'm gonna have to do some trades. I only have 4 tickets right now on MTGO, so I'm gonna sell some packs here, and then we'll resume the video. Actually, let's not. Here, I need to sell some Dragons of Tarkir pack. I think I have 4 of them. So we're actually going to search. Let's do it on one of these. We don't need them. More Dragons of Tarkir booster pack, and see if we can. So this is how I'm going to. All right, so here we have some people that will buy them for 3.1, 3.16, 3.11. This guy only wants 2. Motomart, 10x tickets, Aztec Store, JB Store. There we go. So JB Store actually wants the Dragons of Tarkir. So this is a good way that we can just trade across, and that's about equal, 3.087. So we can go over here, back to JB Store 2, and let's go back up to MTGO, and let's do a trade. So you go over here, I copied the pasted, and we're going to look at JB Store 02. Let's go to all current post. There he is. He's busy at the moment, so I guess we have to wait till he's unbusy. Until then, let's go over to collection here. What you do is you open up your binder. It's so buggy right now if you just try to add it. And you go to active for trade. And then we can go up here and we can go to all the products we have and see how many Dragons of Tarkir. I actually have 6 Dragons of Tarkir booster packs. Add all to active trade binder. And then once this guy is available, we will trade with him, and I'll show you the trade. So I'm just going to pause the video, and until JB Store is ready to trade, we will wait. All right, so we're pulling up a trade here with JB Store. It pulls up a new window in the client, and then it shows all the cards he has for trade. And he's going to pick my Dragons of Tarkir, and we are going to, and then it says the price he's giving for it, which is exactly what, it's over 9 tickets, so that's good. So he's actually giving 3.087 now, so we can go surgical extraction, and come on. There we go. So we do want 3 of these surgical extractions. So you can click them here. And it says it will be 13.36. So he's going to take 4 more tickets, which he only wants 3 Dragons Tarkir. A lot of bots kind of stay at that rate. So anywho, you just click the submit button, and then the bot will take the cards, or take the missing tickets. And then it will say, okay, you're ready for a confirm. And now we have a confirm. So this ended up really good with me because I actually had stuff for trade for this bot. And that would have been a lot cheaper than trying to go around in various ways and find the cards you need. So we got the 3 surgical extractions, and we're ready to go with our deck. So I will post all the links to what you need in the description. I'll link the MTGO wiki price. I will link Card Hoarder and well, I'll just link MTGO Goldfish. By far, MTGO Gold, I have no sponsorship with Goldfish whatsoever. I just love it's my reference point. It's what I use for MTGO to look up prices. Their site is just so streamlined. They have, like, you can look at deck lists, you can look at a lot of things. So big shout out to them just for providing a great service. And a lot of people ask, what website are you using? That's mtgogoldfish.com. So anywho, or mtggoldfish.com, excuse me. Anywho, we're going to get playing in this deck here, and I hope this was just a nice tutorial. I've had so many people ask me how to buy and sell on MTGO, and this is by far the best way. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.